Since Mhalsapathi's first encounter with Sai Baba, whom he considered a Muslim, found himself grappling with a turmoil of emotions. The meeting was brief yet transformative, leaving an indelible mark on his heart and mind. He couldn't stop thinking about the event that happened that very day.
How secluded and quiet a place is the Khandoba temple, best fitted for a fakir to be in.
The fakir had remarked, his voice imbued with an otherworldly serenity. These words sent a shiver down Mhalsapathi's spine. As an orthodox worshipper of Lord Khandoba, the idea of a Muslim residing in the temple was unthinkable. Due to his conservative beliefs and fear of iconoclasm, prevalent among most Muslims at the time, he stood resolutely at the entrance, barring the fakir's entry.
This is a sacred place of Lord Khandoba, and I cannot allow you to enter.
The fakir, undeterred by this rejection, simply smiled. His eyes held no anger, only understanding.
God is one for Hindus, Muslims, and all. But if my presence offends you, I shall leave.
With that, the fakir turned and walked away without a trace of resentment, leaving Mhalsapathi deeply unsettled. That night, Mhalsapathi could not sleep. The fakir's words replayed in his mind, unraveling the tightly held beliefs he had carried all his life. Could this fakir, whom he initially saw as an outsider, be a manifestation of divinity itself? His heart softened, and he began to see Baba not as a man of another faith, but as a representation of universal love and unity. In the days that followed, Mhalsapathi sought out the fakir, who had taken up residence in Dwarkamai Mosque. As he observed the fakir's simple life, his respect deepened. Soon, Mhalsapathi became one of Baba's earliest and most ardent devotees. He was the first to do puja to Baba, offer milk and apply sandal paste to him, treating him with the same reverence as Lord Khandoba. Despite Baba's objection to his being worshipped in that fashion, Baba eventually relented, allowing Mhalsapathi to perform puja and offer him the reverence he so richly deserved. However, not all encounters with Baba were peaceful. A devout but fanatical Muslim named Rohilla grew angry with Baba for allowing Hindu practices like arti and the ringing of bells in the mosque, a place he believed should solely adhere to Islamic traditions. Rohilla's frustration eventually boiled over into rage. One fateful night, under the cover of darkness, he resolved to take action. Clutching a heavy stick, he made his way to the mosque, his heart pounding with a mix of anger and fear. Baba, as was his custom, stepped out of Dwarkamai for a leisurely stroll. As Baba moved further from the mosque, Rohilla emerged from his hiding place, raising the stick high above his head, ready to strike. As Rohilla approached with violent intent, Baba suddenly turned and fixed his gaze upon him. The intensity of Baba's eyes stopped Rohilla in his tracks, and the stick fell from his hands. As Rohilla stood there, paralyzed, Baba slowly raised his palms. What Rohilla saw next left him breathless. In Baba's outstretched hands, a vision unfolded, a radiant and sacred tableau of Mecca, Medina, and the Quran, glowing with an ethereal light that seemed to emanate directly from Baba's being. Tears welled up in his eyes as he whispered,
Mecca, Medina, Ya Allah.
His knees buckled and he fell at Baba's feet. Baba looked down at him, his expression unchanged, yet brimming with a quiet compassion.
Rohilla, why harbor anger in your heart when the truth is one and the same for all? Rama or Rahim, it is all the same light.
Rohilla could not speak. He lowered his head, pressing it to Baba's feet in submission and gratitude. The anger that had once consumed him was redeemed by a deep reverence for the fakir he had sought to harm. He became one of Baba's devotees, often found sitting humbly at the steps of Dwarkamai, seeking guidance and basking in the glow of Baba's teachings. Sai Baba's tireless efforts to bridge the divide between Hindus and Muslims often drew hostility by those who clung to rigid doctrines and prejudices. On one occasion, a group of Muslim fanatics, incited by their religious leader, marched toward Dwarkamai with heavy sticks and fierce resolve, vowing to harm anyone who worshiped Baba in the Hindu way. Inside the mosque, Mhalsapathi was preparing for his evening puja to Baba. The whispers of threats had reached his ears, and the sight of the armed men outside filled him with dread. Baba, seated calmly near the sacred Duni fire, observed Mhalsapathi's hesitation with his all-knowing gaze.
Why do you falter, Mhalsapathi?
Baba asked, his voice as steady as a mountain.
They are waiting outside, Baba. They will harm me if I perform the puja.
Come inside and do your worship. I will see who dares harm you.
Baba said, his voice calm but carrying an unmistakable authority. As Mhalsapathi hesitated, the group outside began shouting.
Anyone who enters that mosque to worship in the Hindu way will face our wrath.
The threatening cries made Mhalsapathi's heart pound, but Baba remained unmoved. Picking up his sataka, Baba walked to the entrance of the mosque. Standing firmly at the threshold, Baba struck the ground with the sataka, the sound reverberating like a thunderclap.
Get out of here!
Baba roared, his voice a command that seemed to shake the very earth. The group of fanatics froze by sheer terror. An invisible force seemed to ripple through the air, and a sudden gust of wind swirled around the mosque. The men who moments ago had been ready to unleash violence now found themselves gripped by an inexplicable fear. One by one, they dropped their sticks and ran, their cries of anger replaced by panicked shouts. Within moments, the courtyard of Dwarakamai was empty, save for the faint echo of their retreating footsteps. Mhalsapathi, though awestruck by what he had witnessed, still felt a lingering fear.
Baba, what if they come for me on my way home?
Baba turned to him, his expression softening. Placing a reassuring hand on Mhalsapathi's shoulder, he spoke with a calm certainty that dispelled all doubt.
Neither these men nor anyone else will harm you in this life or any other. I am with you, protecting you with 1,000 eyes. Go without fear.
As Baba's words washed over him, Mhalsapathi felt an unexplainable peace settle in his heart. Carrying the divine assurance of Baba, he completed his puja with a newfound courage. The incident became yet another chapter in the growing legend of Sai Baba's ability to protect and unify his devotees. For Mhalsapathi, it was a defining moment, an affirmation of his faith in the divine promise of Baba's eternal guardianship.